Blended Kingdom Teens is all about the real-life struggles of living with divorced parents.
We give you honest conversation and practical tools for living out your identity and purpose as we chase after God together. Hey BKT, what is up? We're back with another episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about how to have healthy relationships despite having kind of a hard past based on the things that you've been through. So I will start us off with our little versey verse for today. We are in Romans 12, verse 2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. The word of God.
Wow.
Yeah, so kind of just jumping straight into it. Jerzi and I, we've talked about this many times. Like, we've talked about kind of how we don't want the same thing for our families and our kids that we had. So, we've set boundaries, and we've set these, I guess you could say, standards for ourselves that we won't get divorced. We won't do these things because it happened to us. And we see the effect on not only us, but the others around us as well. And so just right into it, what is something that a teen could do now for either themselves or in their family to kind of set a boundary or set a standard for themselves so that they don't fall back into that pattern that their parents were in, and it becomes a pattern in their life as well.
Yeah, I think it's really cool actually because we talk about this a lot in social work. It's like generational trauma. And I know that's like a big idea of like divorce being like a generational trauma. But I think something that we've talked about is your mind. Like it says it right here, like by the renewing of your mind. And right next to this verse, Romans 12:2, I wrote down the word attitude. And I don't remember exactly when I wrote that down, but attitude matters, and your perspective and your choice that you make to do with the circumstances you've been given has a lot to say about how you're going to come out of it. And so I think that, yes, we both have created, like, we can say all day, I don't want to get divorced. Like, obviously, you don't want to be divorced because it's not fun and we've been through it. Like, I feel like most divorced kids would say that, like, no, I don't want to be divorced. But you can say that all day and that not do anything.
Yeah.
But I think acting on that would look like having an attitude of not conforming to your circumstance and not letting that dictate your future. And that I think that would just look like a daily choice to be different, to try something new, to be a change where you are. And I think attitude is a big part of that. Are you going to argue with your siblings about that one thing or fight with your mom in the car on the way to sports? But your attitude, like choosing to be better than that circumstance and not let that dictate how you're feeling, because that is really easy, I think is a big deal, and it changes a lot.
Yeah, I completely agree. I want to touch on kind of like the second half of that verse, talking about like God's good, pleasing, and perfect will. I think it's a really hard concept to kind of grapple with because of our hard past. It's like, okay, well, like, why did I have to go through all of this? And it comes with it, like, just maturing, obviously, of like figuring all these things out, but realizing that, because you have a hard past, you can now break those cycles, and you can, break the generational, oh my gosh, what is it? The generational curse of divorce off of you and your family and stuff like that. And so I think there's a lot of power that comes into that. And like, even we're kind of going to transition this into kind of like relationships and friendships of like how you can even set boundaries with those people, like romantic relationships of, okay, what is at the center of your relationship? Is it just you liking somebody, or is it, okay, no, this is God. Like, I feel like God is putting you in my life for a reason and a purpose because, his perfect will. And so, seeing those romantic relationships in that way, but also your friendships, because like friends are all around you. And so, we talked about this in a previous episode of having a circle that, comforts you and is there to support you when you are going through hard things. And even when you have gone through hard things, that they're still there to be like, that's not who you are. Like, this is who you are. Like, you are a child of God. You are chosen. You are called. Like, all these things. And that, those things of your past don't set you back, but they make you exactly who you are, and that's the person who I love.
Yeah.
And so kind of just like changing the mindset of all of that. Like you said, like your mindset, your attitude towards it means just so much. And it means that you no longer have to look at your life as something that, oh, well, yeah, my parents got divorced, so like that's who I am. It's not who you are. It's just something that happened to you.
Yeah.
And so
I think that a big part of what you just said was the creating boundaries. With friends, relationships, your family, your parents.
Yeah.
I think that you deciding you having the choice to be different than your family is a really big deal, and stepping into that is scary because it's something new. Like, how can you like have a desire to like not want to get divorced in the future and have respectable boundaries and mature relationships with parents who didn't do that.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's just a really weird thing because you're a lot younger, but you're really wanting to like grow in this thing because you really want to do better than them. And so it's like you feel like sometimes you're teaching them.
Right, yeah.
And then you feel like you've overstepped. And so it's a little awkward sometimes. Like I do that sometimes with my parents. I'll say something and I'm like, I want to say this and I'm not trying to tell you how to parent or how to be my mom or, you know, how to like talk to my dad at this time because he's going through stuff. So I don't really want you to tell him things like this right now because whatever it is, like there's a respectable way to do it. But I think it's also very respectable to see someone wanting to change and grow in their relationship. So putting up those boundaries, I would say do that rather than be afraid of not doing that.
Yeah, you're gonna like long term, you're gonna benefit from having like the awkward, like could blow up like moment of setting a boundary, then later in life, people not knowing that there is one and overstepping and it just, you know, blow up later. Yeah. And so like it's so important to sit down with whoever it is and be like, hey, like this is how I'm feeling about whatever whatever topic it is, and be like, I don't mean this. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to attack you right now, but this is how I'm feeling. And being able to have an open communication, even when it seems impossible, is like, I'm sorry if this offends you, but this is how I feel. And I remember doing that so many times, like just in like later in high school and even in college, of like, I'm sorry, this is going to come out really rude, but I don't mean it in that way. I mean it in a loving way, but I just don't want there to be any gaps to where you thought I was fine and then you're like, yeah, she's fine, I wasn't fine, and all of these things. And so like setting the boundaries are huge, and they're completely worth the awkward, like crazy blow up for a moment, and like even through that, like setting the boundaries and pursuing a future with God, because like the things of this world are temporary. And so being the kind of person who's like, okay, God, like this is your perfect will and your plan is good and pleasing and all of these things, and I'm going to follow in that, and I'm going to align my will with yours, and seeking a future for not only that relationship or that friendship, but like seeking a future with your personal intimate relationship with the Lord. That's going to push you even further in it. And so seeking the Lord and seeking his guidance and his wisdom throughout the entire situation, but also doing that on the side with your own personal intentions of like him knowing the desires of your heart to want to break the chains and want to set these boundaries, and like what that's going to mean not only for you and that person's relationship, but also for your relationship with him. It's huge, and I'm going to say necessary.
Yeah, Sydney, that is really good. And I think you said it, that pursuing a relationship with the Lord is the foundation, and then letting that reflect in your relationships, the boundaries, the conversations you're having, the way you're pursuing people, letting that reflect your relationship with the Lord, I think is really easy to see. And I see that in you. I've seen that in my siblings when they're pursuing the Lord. You can tell whenever they're having a desire to have a relationship with you, but ultimately putting the Lord's relationship over them. I think that's just really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Wow. Snaps, anyone?
Yep. Yeah, so
hey,
that was good.
Thank you for tuning in for this episode.
This was a fun one. I mean, it can be complicated, and it can seem way over like your head for so many different things, just because it's like it's a really hard thing to do, but like we're told like in the hard things, like he's with us and he's the one guiding us. And so yeah, like,
and we're doing it and we're practicing it every day,
Yep,
trying to have
every
these
single day.
relationships.
Yep.
So hey, we're praying for y'all. We love y'all. We're thankful for y'all, this ministry, these conversations we're getting to have. And so, hey, tune in next episode.
Yes.
Cannot wait to see y'all there.
It's gonna be good.
And as always,
Stay strong and courageous. Bye.